Can I use essential oils on dogs?
Yes and no. And I'm going to tell you more about that in a minute.
Can I use essential oils on my dogs? It's Hunt for Wellness, episode number 162.
In the Hunt for Wellness podcast, we talk about mind, body, and spirit because that's what people are made of. They're made of a body, a mind, and a spirit. And we want each of those to be fully functioning, fully nurtured, to live a healthy, full, living your best life.
Hello, welcome to Hunt for Wellness. I'm John Hunt.
And I'm Christy Hunt.
And this is the show where we help you live your best life, mind, body, and spirit. And today we're talking about essential oils and using them on dogs. But this episode of Hunt for Wellness is brought to you by waterdistillers.com. Great machines that provide great water for your great wellness. Check it out at waterdistillers.com. Okay, so you got me on that one. Dogs are like people's babies.
I know.
And they don't want to do anything wrong. They want to know whether or not they can put essential oils on their dog or not.
Right. And so my answer is yes and no.
Okay. So there's times when you can, times when you can't?
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
So there are essential oils that can be used on dogs, and there are essential oils that should not be used on dogs.
Oh, let's talk about those today, because people need to know.
Yes. So you don't want to use essential oils that are synthetically based, although they don't really tell you that. They don't use solvents. You want to use only essential oils that are totally clean, pure essential oils.
Okay. How do you know then?
Well, you have to know the company. What company makes the good oils? And I can tell you from trying many kinds of oils that Young Living essential oils are very pure oils. They have the seed to seal promise,
yes,
which means choosing the right seed organically and even beyond organically cultivating it. There's no herbicides or pesticides used when they are growing these plants. And then they determine the right time to harvest them by their research and distilling them with no solvents and nothing inorganic that's used when they are distilling the essential oil. And then every single batch of essential oil is tested by several different tests to determine, does it have the right qualities in it? Did anything get in this oil or in these plants that caused it to be contaminated with heavy metals or things like that? And if it passed all the tests, then it's sealed and moved on to you. But if it's not, it is not sold to you. So they are the purest kind of essential oils.
Awesome.
And those are the kinds to use on your pets, on your dog. Okay.
Well, we're gonna talk specifically about the ones you can use and what they're used for. Also, in just a little bit too, we'll talk about what you don't want to use on your dog, because there are ones that are just not made for dogs. So let's start with what you can do and what we're recommending, and let's set it up with maybe a situation. A dog owner comes to you and says,
what can I do? What can I use? So I just want to say, when you're starting with essential oils with your dogs, you want to go slow. Less is more. Gradual is better. Moderation is wise. And so take your time. Set some bottles of oils out. I would use single oils, not blends.
Okay.
First with your animals, and just let them smell them. See if they like them. See if there's an oil that they resonate to. You can start with diffusing oils in an ultrasonic diffuser, a water diffuser. And keep the door open to the room that you're diffusing in so the animal can leave the room if they don't like the oil.
Yeah, if they start sticking around and putting their nose up there and not leaving, that's a good sign.
Yes. A friend of mine, her dog likes to sleep under the diffuser.
Oh, cool.
So obviously that dog likes that, and the dog's been super healthy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, and we know that essential oils are good for us as humans, so they've got to be good for all living creatures.
Right. And so we can Diffuse them. We can apply them topically, and we can take them internally. That's the living essential oils that you can take internally, the Vitality ones.
Yes. White label.
Vitality means you can take it internally. So the same with the dogs too. Of course, you don't want to use every single oil on the dogs, and I'm going to give you some recommendations of certain oils to use for your dog. Small dogs, you're going to dilute oils more when you're applying them topically. So like dilute them 80 to 90%, which means like 2 drops of essential oil to 8 drops of carrier oil. And so, or 1 drop of essential oil to 8 or 9 drops of carrier oil. So that's pretty dilute for a small dog, and then use 3 or 5 drops of that mixed together on your animal. On the large dog, you can use 3 to 5 drops of essential oil neat. That means without dilution. But again, I would start lower and slower.
Work them into it.
And any of the hot oils like oregano or peppermint or wintergreen, you want to dilute those oils, even on the big dogs too, even on humans.
Right.
You know, peppermint or wintergreen can feel kind of hot and spicy on your skin.
Yeah.
So you want to dilute with the animals too.
Well, you know, Young Living has so many different oils. And actually, if you go over to Hunt4Wellness.com, this is episode number 162. We'll have links to some of these ones we're going to talk about right now, which are ones that you want to use or at least try, right? Not every... You know, not one size fits all, but these are ones that other people use and have good success with.
Yeah, so I'm going to give you just a little list of a few oils that are good for dogs, and then I'm going to tell you some other ways to use them. So lavender, helichrysum, frankincense, clary sage, elemi, which is kind of like a frankincense, geranium, Roman chamomile, rosemary, and valerian are all good ones to use for your dog.
Right. So what would some of those maybe be used for, like in certain ways? Or is it very similar to how they're used by humans? Right.
So like lavender is a very calming essential oil. So that's going to help calm the dog. It's also called our Swiss Army knife of essential oils. And it can be used for many things. So if there is like a bump or a bruise on the dog, that's another way to use it. To apply it to those areas. Helichrysum is great also for bruising and, stopping problems after an injury.
Right.
Applying it to that, and it really helps the body. It supports the body in doing what the body does and healing itself. The body heals itself.
Right.
Essential oils are just plants that are supportive to that function of the body. Frankincense, such a good one. It is calming to a person and to an animal, and it's soothing to the respiratory system as well. It can also be used for the bumps and bruises. I think we're kind of focusing on that.
Right. Well, it's dogs, right?
Right.
And now, like, I'm just thinking here, and maybe you don't know the answer to this, but, sometimes we rub oils on our feet because it helps get into our system. Is there a spot where you rub it on their paws, or what? How do you get it into the dog?
Don't put it on their eyes, and don't put it in their ears.
Okay.
And those are really sensitive spots. You can use a carrier oil if you get it in those places, but don't put it there. But you can put it on their paws. You can put oils on their belly. On their legs, back, different parts like that. But just again, we're going to start small.
Right.
Now, one thing that essential oil does is it's cleansing to the body. And so if we've all been exposed to a lot of toxins, synthetic fragrances, animal care products for our pets, medications, diets. In fact, a lot of the diets aren't super great for the pets. They're highly processed. So an essential oil might bring out detoxification.
Normal.
which, it can feel like, oh, what's wrong with the dog? But it's actually cleansing the body of the dog and bringing out those toxic things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
for sure.
it could kind of create a rash, but it's only temporary because the body is cleansed from it. So just to be aware, if you're seeing that, just make sure that the dog is okay with the scent before you apply it to them.
Right.
And I said, go slow. And then there are essential oils that are specifically designed for pets.
Oh, like they have a whole line, right?
Yeah, it's called AnimalScents.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
And Mendwell, again, we're talking about those bumps and bruises. Mendwell soothes and moisturizes sensitive, distressed skin. So it aids in healing the minor scrapes and scratches and has a nice, pleasing, natural, earthy aroma.
That sounds great.
And then there's Infectaway, which helps clean the wounds and soothes irritation and supports the pet with the beneficial properties of myrrh and Dorado Azul essential oils.
Wow.
Which are very beautiful healing oils. Then there's Puriclean, which helps cleanse minor scrapes and scratches and comforts irritations. And it's got that skin improvement properties of patchouli and mountain savory. Lavender, we've talked about, also is supporting the skin, and frankincense, copaiba. And then there's the AnimalScents Ointment that is sort of like, it's very nurturing to the skin. It is very moisturizing. It kind of creates a barrier over the skin. This is one that even people use. It's good for people too.
Right.
And for like really sore, really dry skin that you really want to moisture and keep the moisture in to the skin. So very good. And then there's the AnimalScents Shampoo.
Ooh. Dogs love baths. Ours never did, but but some do, I guess. But they kind of don't like it.
I know. They can get stinky.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm not saying they don't need it. I'm saying they don't want it.
No, they don't really like it. At least our dogs. Yeah, but it's good. It doesn't dry out the skin. It smells good, and it balances the skin pH. So it's not going to bother their skin.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So are there a couple things that maybe they are not in the AnimalScents line but can help out?
So I did mention of a couple other things, but I wanted to mention one more thing.
Oh, okay.
AnimalScents line called ParaGize.
All right.
And some of the pet foods or things that the animal eats, the dog eats, can cause discomfort to the digestive system. So ParaGize contains a relaxing, quieting blend for digestion. Kind of helps calm down the digestive system, and you can apply it directly to the abdomen. And it has like a comforting aroma. It smells good, and it helps them with digestion. So
awesome.
Yeah,
that's really good.
ParaGize is for the animals, and DiGize is for the people.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Jize. Digestion.
Well, do you have any hints or things that maybe people should avoid?
Avoid.
Well, like maybe someone would think, well, yeah, that works on me, but on a dog, you don't want to do it.
Well, again, I would check with your dog first.
Yeah.
And let them smell things. I know a friend of mine put some essential oil on her hands and just petted her dog without getting approval from the dog. The dog hated that and like totally avoided her for the rest of the day.
Right.
It would have nothing to do with her, was mad at her. You know how dogs can get mad at you.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And so anyways, you've got to be careful with the pets and allow them to choose.
Yeah. So I think really basically the no-go oils are the synthetic ones, the ones that are not Young Living. And, again, we believe in the Young Living line greatly. So
I've been using it for many, many years.
Yeah.
And so I would start, if you're going to get started, I would start with the AnimalScents line for the animals, including the shampoo, AnimalScents Ointment, which is super moisturizing and really good for skin and any injuries that they have. Just helps them soothing and healing. And I did want to talk about also the emotional aspect. Do you remember when Princess, there's a storm and this dog is going crazy?
She did not like storms.
And I literally called the vet. I'm like, what can I do? Oh, put her in the kennel. This is not helping.
Yeah.
So there is an essential oil called Away, also in the AnimalScents collection. And it's about kind of like trauma.
Yeah.
Away can help provide a balanced environment to your pet during tension, during storms, if they have anxiety, fear, phobias, had emotional trauma. This is a helpful oil. Lavender is another helpful oil. Very soothing, balancing physically and emotionally. So these are really good things to have on hand. Peace and calming, we diffuse that at night with our bed. We just love that one.
Yes.
For us people, and it's good for animals too.
Yeah. Yes, very much. Very universal oil. So again, if you want to find out, we have links to all these things over at our website, Hunt4Wellness.com. And you can go to episode 162. It's all about dogs. And, that's the only thing we didn't do on here was those dog tricks. That would have made this a very exciting and probably made this video go viral.
Right. Too
bad. But that's the way it goes. So anything else before we wrap it up?
If your dog is stinking up your house, you can diffuse essential oils to help get rid of the stink. One of them is Citrus Fresh or Purification. Those are really good oils to just cleanse the air and a room that a dog is in that stinks.
Right. Well, great. Well, this episode of Hunt4Wellness is brought to you by waterdistillers.com. Great machines providing great water for your great wellness. Check it out at waterdistillers.com. Hey, and one more thing I want to tell you before we go. We've talked a lot today about lavender, and we've got a great episode. It's right up here on the lavender legacy. It's the Swiss Army knife of essential oils. So check that out. Coming up next, and you're going to really enjoy that and learn more about lavender and how much really versatile it is, not only for your dog, but for you as well. And then we'll see you next time on Hunt4Wellness.